Good morning. You're welcome back to class. I hope you're keeping safe. That's great. Today we're looking at fiction. Can I hear you say fiction? Fiction. And our learning objectives today are at the end of the lesson, learners should be able to 1. Say what fiction is. 2. Know the alternative word for fiction. Then 3. Identify fiction books. What is fiction? Fiction is made up story or made up writing. What do I understand by made up? What do you understand by made up? When we say we made up something, that means we invented, we bring something in. They are not true, they are not real. But you just sit down, then you formulate it and you bring it in. So meaning fiction stories are not true. Okay, let's say for instance, for now, I can just make up a story about a tortoise and a big hen. I can just say one day there was a big tortoise who likes to trick people all around, and one day the tortoise met with this big fat hen. Is there anything like that? Does it really? So they are something you can just sit down and make up for. They are not real stories. Anybody can make up story. You can make up your own story. I can make up my own story. Anyone can just make up story anytime and any day. And all these stories are called fiction because they are not true. They are just made up. So a story is made up piece of writing. Whatever you write down, you formulate, you bring about, and you write them down, we call them story. So another word for fiction is story. Can I hear you? Another word for fiction is story. We have two types of books. One is fiction book and the other one is non-fiction. But today, our major concentration will be on fiction, meaning the books that are made up. The stories that are made up, they are not real. They are stories that you just sit down and invent. Anybody can write it, anybody can make it up. But in the other book, which is non-fiction book, they are full of facts. They are things that are happening to people. They are so real. They focus on events and people. So let's not digress so much. Today we're looking at fiction. That is made up stories. That's very good. All right. Now when we're talking about the made up stories, they are not true, as I have rightly said. Now let's look at these two tests for us to be able to differentiate between made up story and the real truth. Difference between fiction and truth. Let's look for example. We know that fictions are untrue. Okay? Now, let's look at these two sentences. A. Children walk in this room. I'll read it again. Children walk in this room. Then B. Red monkeys and blue tigers read books in this book. Red monkeys and blue tigers read books in this room. Now, can you tell me which is true or false? All right, are you thinking? All right, A, let's look at it. The A says children walk in this room. Can we say that is true? Can the children walk in the room? The answer is yes. Children can actually walk in the room and they can read in the room. Let's look at the B. B says, red monkeys and blue tigers read books in this room. Is it possible? Let's look at it. Is it real? Monkeys and tigers can read books. Is it possible that monkeys and tigers can read books? Oh no, that isn't true. Meaning, the sentence B is a fiction because it is not real. It is impossible. Now, let's go to the next one. Since fiction is made up story, it's often not serious. The writers may just choose a word just because they like the sound of it. So anything, the writer can put on anything he or she likes. But when we are talking about the non-fiction will tell you exactly what happened. It will tell you the truth, the facts. Now, let's read this extract from the book titled Lily and the Blue Kangaroo. Lily and the Blue Kangaroo at the zoo. Lily and the Blue Kangaroo at the zoo. I read. Lily and the Blue Kangaroo spent the day with their friends at the zoo. The monkeys were naughty, the lions were haughty. But Parrot said, "How do you do?" When Lily lost Blue Kangaroo, she caused a great Oladele. Everyone hurried. They needn't have to worry. He popped up and said, "Peekaboo." Now, I want us to look at that story, that extract. Is it possible for Parrot to say hula baloo? The answer is no. Parrots don't talk like we do. So it is not real. They are just made up stories. So looking at this now today, we are to note that fiction stories are untrue. They are made up stories. Anyone can come up and invent his or her own story. And another word for fiction is story. Thank you for listening and see you in the next class. Bye.